Miss Wong, stop! Don't throw away those tubes, reuse them.
This is an eco tip on how to reuse your toilet roll tubes and kitchen roll tubes. You can use them to build models with. Here's a model of London Bridge that I built. A different way that you can use your cardboard tubes is to use them as a cable tidy. So you can snip a little slit in the end of one of your tubes. You can put the plug into one end, wrap the cable around like this, making sure it's nice and tight, and then in the slits that you cut in the end you can put your end of your cable and it should stay nice and secure and keep your cables from tangling from the other cables. An alternative way to use your cardboard tubes is to use them as an elastic band holder. An alternative way to reuse your kitchen roll cardboard tubes is to make a tinsel holder. So you will need to snip very carefully with a pair of scissors one slit in this end of the tube and another slit in the other end of the tube, just like this, and then you put one end of the tinsel into one end of the tube slit and you wrap it around. Then you secure the other end of the tinsel into the slit in the other end of the cardboard tube. Another way to reuse your cardboard tubes is to make a desk tidy. As well as a cardboard tube, you will also need a cardboard box. I've saved this from the recycling bin and I'm going to reuse it now. So you need to open it up down the side that's glued, then you flatten it out, and if you cut one side of it off you can use that as a base for your desktop organiser. You can decorate this how you like. So you get your tube like this. You might need different sizes of tube because if you put small objects into the large tube, they will get lost inside and you won't be able to touch them again. So you might need to cut some of them down very carefully with some scissors. So all you do, you very carefully flatten one side, don't worry it will pop up again, and you just cut through the whole tube with a pair of scissors, squash it back out again and it becomes a circle. To attach your tube onto your base you will need to cut little slits around the bottom. So I'm going to use my thumb as a guide, and what you do, you very carefully cut near the end of your thumb and turn it a little bit, cut again. Until you've gone all the way around, making little cuts like that. Then you fold them all down towards the inside. Then it will look like that, and you can glue that onto your base like this. Make sure you press it down nice and firmly so that it stays on there. You can add as many tubes as you like onto your desk organiser. So I've now got two different size tubes on my desk organiser, and I think I'll add one more in the middle. You might be thinking that this looks a bit plain, a little bit boring, so you might like to decorate your tubes before you put them on. So let me show you some ideas on how to make your desk organiser look even better. You will need some wrapping paper from an old present that you've been lucky enough to receive. So if you snip the sellotape, and you open it out so it's nice and flat. You do of course have to open your presents really carefully. No more ripping open that paper so you can't reuse it again. You will need to size your toilet roll tube up to the wrapping paper, and you will need about 1 centimetre either side. Again, I can use my thumb as a bit of a guide if I do not have a ruler. So if I put my thumb there, then the toilet roll or kitchen roll there, and my thumb the other side, I know that I will need to cut a line along here, and that will be long enough to have an overlap that you can tuck inside your cardboard roll. Okay, now this paper is too long, so I'm just going to cut off a neat edge. And then if I start to roll the wrapping paper around the cardboard tube, I can see there that that's enough. I can cut, again, make an overlap about 1 centimetre over the ends, just in case it's not quite long enough. Now on your wrapping paper you will need to put lots of glue. I normally try and save my glue by just putting enough around the edges like this, but because this is going to wrap itself around a tube, you need it to be nice and sticky. So then you put your cardboard tube on the top of the sticky paper and you wrap it all the way around. That looks a lot better. Now you've got the ends that overlap. So what you need to do is give those a few snips, but do not snip the kitchen roll or the toilet roll. Just snip to the end of the cardboard tube. Then very neatly you have to fold them inside the cardboard tube. And there it is, it looks very neat. To make sure it sticks onto your base that you've also made from the cardboard box, you will have to snip it again, a little bit like these ones that you've done. And there you go, there's your desk organiser. You could use paint and paint it in whatever colour you like. You could paint stripes on it, you could paint patterns on it. You could stick on bits of tiny cut out cardboard in lots of different colours. You could use sequins, you could use buttons on it. There are special coloured tapes that you can buy that you can wrap all the way around in a diagonal sort of fashion and decorate your tubes that way, but it is easier to decorate them before you stick them onto your base. And when it's finished, it should look something a little bit like this. Let me know how you've used your toilet roll tubes and kitchen roll tubes.